Stop, just for a moment. Freeze. Look around you. What do you see? Walls, corners, ceilings, the rectangular glow of screens, lights that hum with a low artificial pulse. We spend our lives moving from one box to another. We sleep in a box. We drive in a box. We work in a box. And when we die, we are buried in a box. Now, try to remember the last time you truly saw the dark. Not the darkness of your bedroom when you switch off the lamp. Not the dim haze of a city street, but the true, ancient, overwhelming darkness of the night sky. There is a terrifying theory that suggests modern humans are suffering from a specific kind of blindness. We have conquered the planet. We have built towers that scrape the heavens. We have networks that connect us to anyone, anywhere, in a split second. We have tamed fire. We have split the atom, and we have mapped the human genome. Yet, for the first time in human history, we have completely lost our connection to the infinite. Tonight, if you walk outside, statistics say that 80% of the world's population will see nothing but a gray void. The Milky Way, the galaxy that cradles our tiny planet, has vanished from our view. The stars are gone, not because they died, but because we blinded ourselves. We drowned them in a sea of orange sodium light and blue lead glare. My question isn't why the stars are fading. My question is, what inside of us decided they weren't important enough to keep? What part of us chose the screen over the sky? Let's rewind. Step back in time. 10,000 years ago. Imagine your ancestor standing on the open savanna. He doesn't have a watch on his wrist. He doesn't have GPs in his pocket. He doesn't have a roof over his head. When the sun went down, his world didn't just get dark, it transformed. The sky became his map, his clock, his Bible, and his greatest mystery. For early civilizations, the sky wasn't just up there. It was the absolute source of survival. The movement of the Pleiades told them when to plant the seeds that would feed their children. The rising of Sirius warned them of the flooding rivers. The position of Orion told them when to prepare for the harsh winter. They didn't just look up. They read the sky like a sacred burning text written by the gods. They felt small. Yes, infinitesimally small, but they felt guided. They knew their place in the chain of being. They looked up and saw stories of heroes, monsters, and creators. They saw their past and their future reflected in the light of distant suns. The night sky was the first cinema. It was the first storybook. It was the first temple. People gathered around fires, not just to stay warm, but to look up and wonder. They asked questions that we have stopped asking. Where do we come from? Are we alone? What happens when the light goes out? It was in that deep, terrifying darkness that human spirituality was born. Now, fast forward to today. Let's look at our world now. We have swapped the infinite universe for a 6-inch screen. We traded the constellations for constellations of apps. We know the birthday of a celebrity we've never met. We know the net worth of billionaires. We know the details of a scandal happening 3,000 miles away. But we can't name 3 stars in the sky that have burned for billions of years. We can't point north without a digital compass. We have created a world of artificial days. We conquered the darkness with streetlights, neon signs, and the relentless glow of our cities. We decided that nature was too messy, too unpredictable, too slow for our modern pace. We built a ceiling over our lives, thinking it would protect us from the cold and the danger. But in doing so, we locked ourselves in a box. The ancient man looked at the horizon and saw infinite possibilities. The modern man looks at the horizon and sees a notification. We have traded the grand design for the grand distraction. But this isn't just about astronomy. It's not just about light pollution. This is about the architecture of the human soul. You see, there is a direct, scientific link between the sky and our mental state. When we stopped looking up, we started looking inward, and not in a positive, meditative way. We started looking inward with anxiety, with judgment, with fear. Think about the feeling of awe, true awe. It's that shiver that runs down your spine when you stand on the edge of a cliff or under a starry desert sky. It is the feeling of being small. Psychology tells us that feeling awe is absolutely essential for mental health. It acts as a solvent for the ego. When you stand under a sky full of stars, your petty arguments, your work stress, your financial anxieties, they don't just disappear, they dissolve. You realize you are just a tiny, breathing speck of organic dust floating in a beam of light. You realize that your worries are temporary, but the universe is eternal. This perspective is the antidote to narcissism. Without the sky, we lost our sense of scale. We live in a world of hyper-focus. We obsess over things that, in the grand scheme of the cosmos, do not matter at all. Someone insulted you on the internet. You didn't get the promotion. Your car has a scratch. The traffic was bad. In the absence of the stars, these tiny problems become the size of mountains. We are living in a mental fishbowl, fighting over crumbs, forgetting that an entire ocean exists just outside the glass. We have lost the ability to zoom out. Consider our relationship with time. The sky taught our ancestors patience. They watched the moon cycle. They watched the planets drift. They understood that the universe moves slowly. Now, we live in a world of milliseconds. If a video doesn't load in 2 seconds, we get angry. If a message isn't replied to instantly, we feel ignored. We have synchronized our biological clocks with the frantic pace of our processors, ignoring the ancient, slow rhythm of the earth and stars. This mismatch is the root of our modern stress. We are running at a speed our souls were not designed for. We have become lonely navigators. We carry the entire internet in our pockets, a network of billions of people, yet we have never been more lonely. Why? Because the internet connects minds, but the sky connects spirits. When you stand under the stars, you are connected to every ancestor who ever lived. You are connected to the shepherd, the sailor, the philosopher, and the child from centuries ago who looked up at that same exact moon. That is a connection you cannot find on social media. We lost the communal ritual of watching the sunset. We lost the shared silence. We are terrified of silence now. Silence forces us to face ourselves. And without the stars to remind us that life is bigger than our mistakes, facing ourselves is too painful. So we fill the silence with noise. We traded the grandeur of the galaxy for the glow of a notification. We traded the mystery of the unknown for the certainty of data. And in that trade, we lost a part of ourselves that we didn't even know we had. We lost the ability to dream without boundaries. We forgot that we are explorers, stuck on a rock, hurtling through the void. So, why did we stop looking at the sky? We stopped because we got distracted. We stopped because we got scared of the dark. We stopped because we thought we were the masters of the universe, that we didn't need the stars to guide us anymore, because we have Google Maps. But we were wrong. We are lost. The lesson here is simple, but it might be the most important thing you hear this year. You are not your job title. You are not your credit score. You are not your follower count. You are not your mistakes. You are a child of the cosmos. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen in your lungs. It was all forged in the heart of dying stars billions of years ago. You are literally made of stardust. You are the universe experiencing itself. And when you ignore the sky, you ignore your own origin story. You ignore the miracle of your own existence. We need the sky to remind us of our fragility. We need the darkness to appreciate the light. We need to look up to realize that we are part of something that has no beginning and no end. We need to feel small again. Because only when we feel small do we stop acting so recklessly. Only when we see the vastness of space do we realize how precious this tiny blue planet is, and how precious the people on it are. Tonight, I challenge you. Do something radical. Turn off your phone. Turn off the TV. Turn off the lights in your room. Go outside. Walk away from the streetlights. Find a patch of darkness, even if it's just a park or a quiet corner. It might take your eyes 20 minutes to adjust to the dark. It might feel uncomfortable. Your brain might crave the dopamine hit of the screen. But wait, just wait, and look. You might see a satellite passing. You might see the glow of a planet. You might just see the vast breathing canvas of the night. Reclaim the birthright that we forgot, because the sky is the only thing left in this world that is free, that is true, and that is waiting for you to remember it. Look up.